Hello and welcome back to another Tunisian crochet pattern. So today we will be working together on the third part of Ela Facecloth Set, and we will be using Tunisian cross stitches. As per the other two washcloths, we will start the project by making a slip knot and chaining 47. So to chain, you will yarn over the hook and pull through the loop on your hook. That's chain 1. Yarn over the hook, pull through. That's 2, 3, 4, and so on until you have 47 chains. Once we have our 47 chains, we will then turn our project around and we will work into the back bumps of your chain stitches. So the back bumps are here and then the next one. So what we will need to do for the first row, we will insert the hook from front to back under the back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop, and into the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop, and the next, and so on. So you will have one loop on the hook per chain. So because we chained 47, we will end up with 47 loops on our hook. And this is forward pass for row number 1, or the first row. So you will keep on going, working into the back bumps of your chain stitch. Once we have all our loops on the hook, that is one loop per chain, we will work our standard return pass, and we will repeat the standard return pass for each row of this project. So standard return pass is worked as yarn over and pull through one loop or chain 1, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we will repeat yarn over, pull through 2 loops all the way across until we have one loop left on our hook. So I'm at the end of the return pass for row number 1. Got last 2 loops left, so I'm going to do yarn over, pull through 2 one last time. So I have one loop left on the hook, and this will be the right edge stitch of the row number 2. So for row number 2, we will start working the stitch pattern of Tunisian cross stitches. So Tunisian cross stitches are worked over 2 stitches as follows. So you will skip the following stitch, and then you will work Tunisian simple stitch into the next stitch. So Tunisian simple stitch is worked from right to left under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we will do the same into the stitch that we skipped. So we'll go back into the first stitch under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then into the next pair, we skip the following stitch or the following front vertical bar, insert the hook into the next stitch from right to left, yarn over, pull up a loop, and return back to the skipped stitch, insert the hook from right to left, yarn over and pull up a loop. And we will repeat this across the row to last 2 stitches, and I'll meet you there. And now at the end of forward pass for row number 2, so I've got 2 stitches left to work. So into the next stitch after the last Tunisian cross stitch, we will work Tunisian simple. So Tunisian simple is worked from right to left under the front vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we have an end stitch to work. So for end stitch, you need to turn the edge of the work towards yourself, and there you will see 2 strands of yarn. One is on the right and one is on the left. So you will insert your hook under both of these, yarn over and pull up a loop. And then you will work standard return pass of yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 all the way. For row number 3, you will start your row with Tunisian simple stitch into the first stitch, and then you will work Tunisian cross stitches all the way across up to the very last stitch and worked an end stitch. So again, for Tunisian cross stitch, we will skip the following stitch, work Tunisian simple into the second stitch, and then return back and work Tunisian simple stitch into the skip stitch, like so. Then we moved into onto the next pair of 2 stitches, skip the first one, work Tunisian simple into the next one, return back, work Tunisian simple into this, and we will keep on repeating this for the rest of the row, finishing with an end stitch. I'm now at the end of row number 3. I'm going to work one last Tunisian cross stitch, the last 2 stitches, and worked an end stitch, followed by standard return pass. Rows 4 and 5 are repetition of rows number 2 and 3. So far we worked this small section at the bottom where we alternated Tunisian cross stitches and we offset them by 1, so they weren't aligning on top of each other. Now we are going to be moving on to this section where we keep on the Tunisian cross stitch pattern of both edges on the right and on the left, and in between we will be working Tunisian simple stitches. So for row number 6 we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice. So we'll work first Tunisian cross stitch and another one, so this spans 4 stitches. You will then work Tunisian simple stitch up to the last 5 stitches. You will work 2 Tunisian cross stitches and an end stitch. I'm now at the end of row number 6. I've got 5 stitches left and the end of the row. We'll work 2 Tunisian cross stitches, that's 1 and 2, and an end stitch, followed by standard return pass. Rows 7 to 9 are repetition of row number 6, so you will work row number 6 3 more times. Now moving on to this section here where we've got the edges in Tunisian cross stitch, we've got a small section of Tunisian simple stitches, and the center is filled with Tunisian cross stitches. We are now on row number 10. For row number 10 you will work Tunisian cross stitch twice, so that's 1 and 2. You will then work Tunisian simple stitch in next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You will then work Tunisian cross stitch 13 times, work the Tunisian cross stitches up to the last 11 stitches. We will then work Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We will work 2 Tunisian cross stitches, 1 and 2, and an end stitch, followed by standard return pass. For row number 11 we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice, that's 1 and 2. We will then work Tunisian simple stitch in the next 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then we will work Tunisian cross stitch 13 times. So we'll work Tunisian cross stitch up to the last 10 stitches. I'm now on last 10 stitches of row number 11. I will work 5 Tunisian simple stitches, or Tunisian simple stitch into next 5 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We will work 2 Tunisian cross stitches, 1 and 2, and an end stitch, followed by standard return pass. Rows 12 to 13 are repetition of rows 10 and 11. We are now moving on to this section where we've got straps or the Tunisian cross stitches on both edges. Then we have a short section of Tunisian simple. Then we will have short section of Tunisian cross stitch on both sides, and then middle filled with Tunisian simple stitch. For row number 14, we'll work Tunisian cross stitch twice. So that's Tunisian cross stitch once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice again, once and twice, then we will work Tunisian simple stitch in next 18 stitches. Work Tunisian simple stitch in 18 stitches. We will then work Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by an end stitch and standard return pass. For row number 15, we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in 18 stitches. Once we worked Tunisian simple stitch in 18 stitches, we will follow with Tunisian cross stitch twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by an end stitch and standard return pass. Rows 16 and 17 are repetition of rows 14 and 15. For row number 18, we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice. That's once, and second time. We will then work Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We will then work Tunisian cross stitch 3 times. Okay, that's 1, 2 and 3, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by an end stitch and standard return pattern. For row number 19, we will work Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, so once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch 3 times. That's once, twice and 3 times, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, followed by Tunisian simple stitch in next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, followed by Tunisian cross stitch twice, once and twice, and an end stitch and standard return pass. Rows 20 to 23 are repetition of rows 18 and 19, so we will repeat 18 and 19 twice. Rows 24 to 27 are repetition of rows 14 to 17. Rows 28 to 31 are repetition of rows 10 to 13. Rows 32 to 35 are repetition of rows 6 to 9. Rows 36 to 39 are repetition of rows 2 to 5. Once you work rows 1 to row 39, we will move on to row number 40, which is the bind off row. So we will maintain the Tunisian cross stitch pattern and we will bind off in this stitch pattern. So what I mean by that is that we will work each stitch as per the cross stitch pattern, but we will bind off each stitch as we work it. So this is what I mean. We will start by skipping the first stitch, working Tunisian simple into the next stitch. So you will yarn over, pull up a loop and then you will pull through the loop on the hook. You will then go and work the stitch that you just skipped, yarn over, pull up a loop, and work through the loop which is already on the hook. You will then move on to the next pair, skip the first one, work into the second one, you pull up a loop and pull through the loop on the hook. You will then go back into the skipped stitch, you will work it, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through the loop on the hook. And you will continue binding off your stitches in the stitch pattern all the way to the end, and you will bind off the end stitch as well. What this does is it maintains the stitch pattern all the way up to the very top of your washcloth. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the part 3 of our washcloth set series. So next time we will look at the last one where we will work the Tunisian smoke stitch. Until then, thank you very much for watching and bye bye.